Hello everybody, so it is finally time to replace my old early 2011 13-inch MacBook Pro with something new. So here's the bag that I just picked up at the Apple Store, and inside is my new MacBook Pro. So we'll go ahead and take it out of the bag here. I'll set that aside. And this is the 15-inch silver version. I'm not the biggest fan of the space gray. I still really like the silver look that they've had for years. However, the space gray does look very nice. I do give it that. So obviously it's the 15-inch. There's not much on the sides of the packaging here, just some basic information. So let's flip it over and see what I decided to pick up. This is the 8-core Intel Core i9, and it has 16 gigabytes of memory and a 512 gigabyte SSD. Now, the early 2011 machine that I've been using for all these years also has 16 gigs of memory and a 512 gigabyte SSD. So there's not much of a change there. However, there definitely will be a change in the processor itself, and having a graphics card will also be very nice. So this is the model that I decided to pick up, and I'm sure it'll last me for many, many years to come. So we'll go ahead and cut the plastic on the packaging here. I remember when these came in a fold-open box. Of course, now they come in a box like this, kind of like all the iPads and phones and all that happy stuff. So let's go ahead and slide it open. And there it is. The sad part, of course, is that in this, I guess you could call it the 4th generation model, the Apple logo doesn't light up anymore. But we'll go ahead and pull the computer out. Very nice. It's definitely lighter than the 13-inch one that I've had, but it still, has some weight to it as well. And we have our accessory packet here with all the typical stuff that we have had for all of these years. Inside, we can find our quick start information, and most importantly, the Apple stickers. Of course, now everything is USB-C, so we have our USB-C cable here, which is how you charge the machine. And here is the power adapter. So we'll slide that out. Looks like the same size as the 60-watt MagSafe that I was using before, except now it is USB-C. Let's see what we have here for power. It is 87 watts. Makes sense since it's the 15-inch version. I think the 13 is like 60-something watts. But very nice. Of course, there's nothing else within the packaging. So we'll set that aside as well. And let's peel off the plastic. Very nice. I suppose we'll take a look around before we open it up. Of course, we have two USB-C or 3.1 or whatever they're calling it now. What is it, Thunderbolt 3? I don't know, there's all kinds of names for this particular connector, but there's two on this side, and your typical headphone jack. If we move it around, we'll find two more on this side as well. I believe you can use any of them for charging the machine, which is nice. Now you can put it on any side you really want. And there's our little paper thing inside, and it looks like it already turned on as soon as I opened it up. That must be one of their new features with these. I know that they don't have the startup sound anymore. They got rid of that, which is kind of sad. I'm very used to hearing that. So we'll let it boot up here. A lot of firsts in this machine for me. A Retina display, the huge trackpad that doesn't click, this weird screen touch bar thing. I'm not sure why.
English as the main language, press the return key.
Okay. So now it'll talk to you just like it has done through all the years when you take too long. So I'll go ahead and set this up and we'll be right back. After going through all of these setup questions, here we are with the desktop. Now I'm coming from a machine that was stuck at High Sierra, so here we are with Mojave, and I'm looking forward to learning all the new features in this operating system, and then, learning the new features of the one that was just announced at WWDC that I already forgot the name of. But at least I'll be able to enjoy that on this computer here. I'll have to get used to this touch bar thing because the regular buttons are missing, and the other thing to get used to, at least for myself, is this keyboard. Like, the key travel is really different. I've read a lot of reviews about it. I do know that this is on a replacement plan if it does go bad in a couple years, but even so, it'll take some time to get used to these type of keys versus the keys on the second generation design of the MacBook Pro. We have the speakers here on the sides versus underneath the keyboard, like the 13-inch second generation design again. But we still have the same 720p HD camera, I do believe, as the 2011 version, which was the first one to have that, so that is the same thing. It hasn't changed after all of these years. But I'm sure there's plenty of really good reviews out online of this machine. I'm really looking forward to using this, and with my 23-inch cinema display here. I did pick up a separate adapter, not too sure where that is sitting right now. Oh, here it is. Because being USB-C, there's no way to really, plug in all of my old stuff that I have. So I went ahead and picked this up, turn on this incredibly bright light again. Of course, we have USB-C, HDMI, and I have an HDMI to DVI adapter for the monitor, and then one USB port for now. So we'll go ahead and open this up. Not cheap, the thing's like $70, but this computer wasn't cheap either. Of course, you have some documentation inside, but here is the adapter. I think it's essential to have this particular one. Of course, they make just a USB one, but here you can have, the ability to still charge the machine, and then your display, and then USB out. So technically, I could have this on my desk with the monitor, the power supply, and the USB ports from the monitor all on one cable. It'll look pretty nice. So, of course, this is a must-to-have if you're coming from a really old computer like I am. You'll definitely need something like that because you never kept up with the times, just like I never kept up with the times. But now I have a new computer, so I guess I'm up with the times. Anyway, I really do hope you enjoyed this quick little unboxing and my little ramblings about this little upgrade. I'm really happy to finally have a more modern machine. The early 2011 model was still serving me just fine, but it was starting to get behind on operating system, applications, and even the speed compared to some of the other computers that I have used. As I say all the time, I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and also please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching.